Oh, no, I got to ask this. We changed it. Did they prove they're the best team in the NFL?
We are so back, baby. You know how we're back? The opposing teams whining about officiating. There's conspiracy theorists online. The offense is the best it's been since 2022 when Mahomes set the all-time combined yardage record. The defense, which I was worried about after week one, has progressively gotten better, the Jags game notwithstanding. Rashee is back. We're done with it. The suspension's over. And if they're not the best team, who is? You're gonna watch the Chargers or the Broncos this weekend, who are leading the AFC West, try their damnedest to lose to two of the three worst teams in football, no disrespect to the Tennessee Titans, and say they're the best? We're gonna say the Bills with that defense or the Steelers with that offense. Can't say the Lions. Lions got their lunch money stolen last night.
That's what people were saying before.
The only, you could argue, my NFC Super Bowl pick, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I do think they have been very impressive and resilient going through injury. But they're the best team in football. And we all know when it flipped. And you guys
Please.
KW? How about this? How about this, KW? Because you'll like this.
Okay.
Post tackle that turned the tide.
This is getting on my nerves.
The Chiefs scoring 30. They had done it 3 out of 28 games.
Yeah. I'll cut it short here because I echo Wild's takes. He actually is annoyed with this because it's just obnoxious, and it just becomes too much. I mean, he laughs, but he rolls his eye. You can tell Wild's just genuinely just like, can we just stop? Can we just stop? I think the Kansas City Chiefs are the best team in the NFL, and I think you would have the highest degree of confidence around this team again because they are just consistently the best coached, best prepared team in the NFL. And now that they are healthier and the suspensions and whatnot are over, you can see that the Chiefs' standings around the league was going to be heavily relying on how good are the Eagles, how good are the Lions, how good are the Bills, the Ravens, the Bengals. And the Ravens are decimated with injuries. The Bengals are decimated. Obviously, no Joe Burrow. The Chargers are decimated. The Eagles are not quite the same. The Lions, again, the Lions, they haven't beaten a great team yet this season. They've only taken care of business against bad teams. That's the reality. And that's what I was so excited to see this game, to be like, okay, listen, I know the Chiefs aren't necessarily playing their best football, but I believe in at a bare minimum that we're going to still see great defense from the Kansas City Chiefs. That's what we're going to see. And I know the lines. That's why it's like, I don't care about how the Chiefs offense and what the numbers show necessarily, because they've been going up against awful defense. The Ravens are a mess. The Jags are not as great as people think they are, as I said, going into this weekend, and even had the Chiefs above the Jags after the Jags beat the Kansas City Chiefs. And so, those things matter me. Those things matter to me. And so I care a lot less about that. And I always said that going into this game was always going to be so fascinating because I don't know how great or truly how special the Lions can be. Because we've seen them beat, with new coaching staff and whatnot, beat up on less than teams. And I was like, I want to see what this new coordinating staff does against Andy Reid and Spags. That is what I always wanted to see. That's what I was more and more excited to see rather than, it always tries to get billed like Jared Goff first, Patrick Mahomes, let's go. And I'm like, I'm more interested in seeing what Andy Spags and co have to do against the offensive coordinators for the Lions. And they didn't answer the call. And the Kansas City Chiefs defense was completely able to contain that Detroit Lions offense. And if you're a Lions fan, like, that would be the more concerning aspect than anything else. I expected the Kansas City Chiefs offense to be able to pick apart this absolutely banged up, decimated defense with the Detroit Lions. It's like I expect that, just like how you saw what they were able to do against the especially as soon as you saw what they were able to do against that beat up Baltimore Ravens defense as well. So you're like, that's all par for the course. The best thing that the Kansas City Chiefs have going for them than anything else right now is that when you look at the makeup of all the teams right now that feel like every team to a degree feels uneven and a bit messy, but it's just like when I was saying, oh, I would love to see the Kansas City Chiefs go up against a great defense, or the Lions go up against great def. And it's like when you look around the league, like last year, we could say, dude, Kansas City Chiefs defense is elite. The Los Angeles Chargers defense is elite. The Broncos offense, the Broncos defense is elite. The Eagles defense is elite. The Buffalo Bills offense is Josh Allen's playing at an all-time level. Lamar Jackson and that offense, all-time level. No one can stop Derrick Henry. No one can stop Lamar Jackson. That Philadelphia Eagles offense. Oh my God, no one could stop Saquon. No one's stopping that offense, right? Like you had a sense that there were aspects of these various teams where you're just like, oh my gosh, the Detroit Lions, that offense was just like, how do you slow down this offense? It seems unstoppable. Seems unstoppable. And right now, looking around the league, I don't see that. I don't see that. So it's just it's a weird time right now. It's a weird. I'm so fascinated to see how the Buffalo Bills play tonight, right? They're playing against the Atlanta Falcons. I think they're playing and the Washington Commanders, it's just like, well, what do they look like against the Chicago Bears? Like I both simultaneously seeing incredibly high quality football, but then also somewhat bizarre football. So, it's been weird. It's been a weird season. I said that I thought that this year was going to be the closest we've ever seen, but I really thought it was going to be, because the floor was going to be elevated so much right now. And now it's just like, if I was looking at these teams last year, I'd say the Ravens were better, the Eagles were better, the Bills were better, the Lions were better, right? Like I would just say that all these teams last season felt better. The Rams. And right now, even the teams that are winning, whether it be the Bucks, whether it be the Chiefs, whether it be the Broncos, God, the Broncos are 4-2, right? I think any of these other teams that are winning have a healthy record, a decent record. I don't look at any of them and I'm just like, oh man, you don't want to face this team in the playoffs. Oh man, this is so, when it felt like that was going to be the Rams offensively, it's like not as much, right? When it felt like it was maybe going to be the Eagles, not as much. When it felt like it was be like M. Jones and the 49ers, not as much. And I don't see it whether it be the Bucks, like no matter what team we want to use, no matter what team we want to use, it seems like every win and loss feels very easily explainable. Rather than just this was straight up high quality play, I'm better than you, no question about it. And so it's just going to be interesting to see how healthy do these teams stay down the stretch. And yeah, what you know, who rises to the occasion when it matters most? And obviously the Kansas City Chiefs do that better than any other team. So yeah, this was obviously an important game for the Kansas City Chiefs, but I like I said, I always knew going into this game that it was always going to feel weird to be like, man, I don't know how you really break down this game when both teams, the way they've been playing and who they've been playing, the way how it's unfolded. And now that this game finally happened, I think to myself, I don't even know I don't even know what teams are the barometer right now. When I'm watching, under normal circumstances, when the Chiefs and the Lions are both playing great and they're both playing at a high level and they're both healthy, etc., and then they play each other, you can get a real sense of what's going on here. But when you're still trying to figure out who are the Lions, and now the Chiefs beat them, you're like, well, I don't really know who the Lions are. And then it's like, and if the Lions beat the Chiefs, you're like, yeah, well, I don't really know who the Chiefs are right now. They're still trying to play their best brand of ball. And you're just like doing all that. And then when I realize it's such a mess that I don't have any high degree of confidence about any of the quality of play from any of these teams. And when it's that messy, when it's that muddled up, and that's why I made this joke in my Chiefs video with the herd. I think the one NFL meme page where I think it was Dwayne Wade, and it's just like him, like looking like this, and it's like me trying to figure out, you know, who's great and who's bad in the first 6 weeks of the NFL season. It's kind of how I feel right now, where I'm just like, what am I looking at? And if you don't know what you're looking at, it's like the safest play is going to be Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, and Spags. Game in and game out. If no one really knows, if no one's really confident in their roster, if no one's really confident in their execution, in their coaching staff, and they have a great defense but not a great offense, or they got a great offense but not a great defense, you know, and in a time when you're like, I don't know, can't go wrong with Andy Reid, Mahomes, Spags, just the way it works. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Kansas City Chiefs? Did they prove that they are the best team in the NFL? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help visibility in the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next.